Arsenal 2, Fulham 1, a brilliant comeback from the Gooners. A terrible mistake from Gabriel gave Mitrovic the chance. He put Fulham 1-0 up. But then the brilliance of Martin Odegaard, the perseverance of the Arsenal team, and Gabriel atoning for his horror mistake, giving Arsenal the second goal, the 3 points, 4 wins from 4 for Arsenal now. As they proved me right again and again and again, they are scary. They are dangerous. They are a different animal to last season. No doubt about it. Arsenal to push, to challenge for this Premier League title. I believe it. I truly do. Today is just further proof of it. Smash the like and the share button. What a comeback for Arsenal. Let's go!
Absolutely magnificent.
Arsenal with another win. 4 wins from 4. I haven't gone and bothered to check, but I can't remember the last time they won their opening 4. The last time they won their opening 3 games of the Premier League season was 18 years ago. Maybe that was 18 years ago as well, but it is 4 wins from 4 for Arsenal. And today, they got their first setback. They went a goal down. Terrible mistake from Gabriel. I mean, he kind of been threatening that for the majority of the season. He does like to dilly-dally a little bit on the ball. And you think to yourself, well, what's going to happen? Can they recover? I think a lot of Arteta outers, I think a lot of the naysayers, and of course the rivals, this is it. Some adversity at last. How will Arsenal respond? And they responded exactly how I believe they would. And they responded exactly how anybody that knows football believed they would, by coming back. Although I had a bit of banter. I had a bit of banter on Twitter when they conceded. I asked a question about Saka because he doesn't look himself. But if you follow me on Twitter, you'd have seen me say, but they've got the system and they have the players to come back. And they did. And they were brilliant after that. Yes, a good save from Ramsdale to deny Mitrovic from making it 2-1 to Fulham. But they deserved it today, Arsenal. When you look at from an eye test point of view, they had the majority of the play. They had the majority of the ball. I would guess, I haven't looked at the stats, but I would guess over 70% of the ball. They had the majority of the shots. I would guess that they've doubled at the very least how many shots that Fulham had. They had the majority of the players we already know. They had the better chances. They were superior. Now, Fulham are a good team. We saw what they did earlier on this season to Liverpool. They're no mugs. They play, Marco Silva has got them playing very, very well. They're very, very tough. They're very, very difficult to go up against. And Arsenal came through with flying colours, even with a mistake, even without Zinchenko, even without Thomas Partey, even without Saka playing well. I know he got an assist in the game, but he didn't have a great game. And this is why I think this Arsenal team has turned a corner. This is why I think this Arsenal team is different to other Arsenal teams that we have seen in the Premier League in recent years. They've got the bit between their teeth. There is a mentality about them, a never say die attitude that has been developed. Now, there'll be many more trials and tribulations over the course of the season, but this is a real and serious Arsenal team. I believe it. And I do believe it's real. I do believe it's serious. And I believe that this Arsenal team is serious. This Arsenal team is real. And I believe they can go on and challenge for a title. I believe with the right signings in the last week of the window, and as they continue to grow and mature over the course of this campaign, they will be there or thereabouts. There's been many moments in these opening few games where you've kind of felt to yourself, would Arsenal of old have thrown that away a year ago, 2 years ago? Would they have been able to have come through those moments when Leicester started to come back 2 weeks ago? Would they have been able to hold on and just bounce straight back and score? 1-0 up against Palace, they were able to keep going, keep pushing forward and get that second goal, remain defensively strong and resolute. Today, adversity, but they carried on going. Players missing, injuries, conceding a calamitous goal. This Arsenal team is serious, and this Arsenal team could this season become title contenders, but will become title contenders with the right investment, with fans keeping the pressure on, and with the development of their squad and their managers together. They are a serious outfit that should be putting the Woolies up the majority of their rivals. No doubt about that in my mind. And as a United fan watching them, I keep getting told, put your Arsenal shirt on, Terry. You're being an Arsenal fan, Terry. I'm not. I don't enjoy watching it. When the second goal went in for Arsenal today, I was disappointed because I'm a Man United fan and I don't want to see Arsenal win and be good. But I can't sit up on the football terrace and cap. I can't do what 90% of other content creators do and other platforms do, where they just say things for effect and they don't really mean it. There's no logic behind it. And for me, this Arsenal team is legit. They are scary and they are developing into title contenders. And we've already seen this year, Liverpool ain't flawless. City ain't flawless. And unless either one or both of those teams have impeccable seasons where they're making 95 plus points, Arsenal are going to be there or thereabouts. They're a shoo-in for top 4. They are dangerous as hell, and you don't want to go up against them. It's as simple and as straightforward as that for me. Now, I want your thoughts and I want your feelings. We're going to be getting Gooner Express on. We're going to be getting Brandon on a little bit later in the show. Egal will be on his way with us very soon as well. Let's have a little look at some of your comments that have come through here. But I want that like button smashed, by the way. Get subscribing to the Football Terrace. Very important to us that you get that done right about now. Let's have a little look here. Gabriel equals centre-back. Nelly winger. Jesus raid boss is what's been said there. Poor from Saka today. Yeah, he didn't have a great game, but there we go. Arsenal will fall off by November is what Mohammed has got to say here with the super chat. I don't know. I don't know if I agree with that, my friend. Like, I want to believe that as a rival, but I think this Arsenal team is serious. And as long as they add players in this next week, I truly see them having a very good season indeed. They've got to add another player, in my opinion, but I really do think they're going to have a very good season indeed. I really, really do. Hi, Chelsea fan, hype man. What about you? I don't know what that means, Terry. I've never been a prouder gooner, is what Lawrence has got to say here. Of course. And well, I think it depends how old you are. You know, older Gooners have won the league. They've won doubles. They've been invincible. So they've been prouder Arsenal moments than beating Fulham 2-1 at home and starting a league campaign so well. But there is an age group of Arsenal fans that have never seen a Premier League or don't remember winning it. And I've seen a handful of FA Cups amid seasons where they weren't very good in the league. So there is a new generation of Arsenal fans that's enjoying the way they're playing and the way they're performing on a whole new level. A whole new level. The only team in the league remaining with a 100% record. The only team in the league who, for me, has been brilliant in every single game. And almost every, barring individual mistakes, brilliant pretty much for 90 minutes in every game as well. Of course, teams attack you and they create opportunities. That's very normal. Let's not become weird here. Here to enjoy my food with some salt is what Adam has got to say. I'm starting to fall in love with my club again. I'm 90% there to being Arteta in. Terry, I want to call in sometime. How do I go about it? We'll share the link. We share the links in the majority of our shows for you all to phone in and have your say on. And it's intriguing to see so many like Arsenal fans now say that they're Arteta in or they're turning and they're changing. Results will do that for you. And that's the right way to be. And I think that the one thing we promote on the Football Terrace is changing of minds. I got something wrong or things have improved. Therefore, I'm going to look at things differently. And I understand why Arsenal fans are thinking that and will feel that. They absolutely deserve to, no doubt about it whatsoever. The Premier League table will show itself in 4 more matches. I understand that, and people will say you shouldn't take too much. Listen, it's not about Arsenal's league position as to why I'm praising them so high. Don't get it twisted. The reason that I'm praising Arsenal so highly is because it's the performances. It's the fact that I don't think this team is maxed out. It's the fact that I don't think this team is playing at full capacity to win the way they're winning. I think there's another gear change. I think there's another level. And if you don't think that Ben White, Ramsdale, Tomiyasu, Saliba, if you don't think them, along with Saka and Martinelli, plus others, and you'll name more, can go to another level from where they are now, I think you're being disingenuous to your own football knowledge. They look absolutely brilliant. The Arsenal blueprint here says we are top of the league, is what Mr. Arsenal the Arsenal blueprint has got to say here. And I'm going to say this again. Lee Gunner back on the show on Tuesday. Lee Gunner is getting cooked. Clip this up and send it to him. Lee Gunner. In fact, I'm going to clip my own clip. I'm going to clip my own because I'm going to timestamp it now. I'm timestamping this, and I'm gonna say this out loud. Lee Gunner, Tuesday, I'm coming for you. You are saying I'm Arteta in, or at the very least, you were saying you were wrong about Arteta. 4 wins from 4, top of the league, improving all the time. The trajectory is moving itself forward. You were wrong, my friend. You were wrong, my friend. You need to be celebrating and saying, you know what, mate? And at the very least, maybe you've just got to say, I've got to give Arteta a chance here, because the way your team is playing, the way your team is performing is absolutely impeccable. Impeccable. For such a young side as well, every Arsenal fan should be beside themselves with happiness. And Lee Gunner, I'm coming for you. And if you don't say it, then I'm going to retire you, my friend. I'm going to retire you. Do you know what I mean? More retirements coming from me this next year to other YouTubers. The social security. I'm on my way to retire, people. I'm telling you now. Arsenal showed how flexible the players are. Today we had Tierney, Saka, Xhaka, Tommy play left back, and the front line was all changing. And that's the thing. They were potatoes. They had to be versatile. Like, I don't know if you see Kai Kurd, the comedian's take. Be a potato. Potatoes are the most versatile. It's true, though. As much as it's a joke from him, very, very versatile from Arsenal. And that's what winning is about. And again, I keep saying, I'm watching the game. I'm not going to lie to you. I'm talking to you in a normal way, right? But I was watching the game and I was annoyed. I was annoyed because Arsenal looked so good. I was legitimately like, nah, I don't think I can take this anymore. I'm going to have to turn the TV off. Yo, I'm 20, mate. I'm a gunner. Most excited I've been the best squad I've witnessed, and I feel like we still have much more to give. So you're 20 years old. You don't remember 2 years old. You don't remember the Invincibles. In fact, the last really good Arsenal teams were like 08, 09, 2010, 2011. With all due respect, you probably don't remember much of that either because of your age. So I totally understand the way you feel now, Liam, my friend. I really, really do. Let's have a little look at what more of you are saying here. Bro, what do you think what do you think of Arsenal fans when our player makes stupid like Gabriel today? But listen, I think you should criticize the mistake, but he atoned from it because he performed well afterwards and he got the winning goal. Gabriel, though, does have this in him. And it's one of the reasons why I think your manager was looking at potential alternatives. And if he keeps making these mistakes, he'll get moved on. I still think there's a possibility that Gabriel leaves this team at some point, and it's Ben White and Saliba that become your centre-back pairing with Tomiyasu at right back, as an example. But that's how you should all be thinking. Arsenal fans should be thinking no one is safe. And if you keep making mistakes or if you keep leaving us vulnerable, you'll lose your place in the first team. That's how winners do things. That's how Arsenal operated when they were great. And that's how they've got to operate again. It's too early to say Lee is wrong. Last season, we had a run of playing well and finished 5th. Wait until the end of the season, then stick it to Lee. It is a little bit of banter. Me and Lee work together. We get on. It isn't serious. Like, I'm not going at Lee like a lot of these weirdos online do. But I hear you. 4 games, mad results, gas from Arsenal. Let's see 2 or 3 games a week form when they play in the European Cup. Europa Cup. Let's not disrespect the European Cup. Man United and Arsenal are not in that. Good form. Balloon to burst soon. Come on, you Blues. Now, I get that challenge, my friend. I'm going to caveat it, though. I'm going to caveat it, though, with I told you at the beginning of the season, this is going to be like Leicester. I'm not saying they're going to win the league, but people are going to keep writing Arsenal off and they're going to keep proving you wrong time and time and time and time again. Can we get Colleen on today? Arsenal are overrated. Colleen was at the game today, so she's not appearing on the show later, my friend. Saka needs competition badly. He's looking lost. I want to talk to the panel about that, but I'll give you my opinion now on Saka. I think Saka needs a rest. I think Saka needs to sit on the bench. I think Saka's being burnt out. I think Saka's played too much football, too young, and needs a rest. Arsenal need Pedro Neto, not because he is or is not better than Saka. They need him because I think Saka has carried this team on his shoulders for 18 months, 2 years, and is exhausted. He just doesn't look himself, and he's still so young. He's probably played, for a man his size, and he's not the biggest. You know, he's still filling out, he's still finding himself. I think he's played too much football, and Arsenal need to guard against that. So that winger is so desperately needed. Saka doesn't look great at the moment, but the beauty is you've got Odegaard, you've got Gabriel Jesus, amongst others, you know, picking up the mantle now, allowing Saka to have these when I say poorer moments, he's still good, but he's not at his scintillating best. But I think Arsenal need a replacement to really help him to develop. And I wouldn't necessarily say it's because he looks lost. They just need the extra bit of help in regards to that. We've got the panel coming out very soon to have their say on the terrace, people. Let's get this stream past 1,000 likes for us. It would mean a great deal to me if we could get that done today. It really, really would. Salty fans were so happy when we were 1-0 down, but who's laughing now? Salty, stay salty rivals is what TBG has got to say. Nicola Rogers here, a United fan, says, congrats, Arsenal, good fight. But we have Marquinhos, Terry. Yeah, you do, but we have no idea, nor do you, how good or bad or indifferent he is. I think you need higher level quality. And again, that's not a dig. I think you just need it. You know, the same as a lot of teams. And unless you're at City's level, you need to keep adding quality on top of what you've got, as opposed from underneath. Comment here says Saka gets doubled on every time he has the ball. This is true. He's that good. I've told everybody before. He's one of the best young players in the world. That's why he's on the wall in my studio. Come on, you Blues. Sit down. You were nowhere to be seen before 2004. Arsenal is and always will be red, is what Trevor Dans has got to say here on TFT this afternoon. We're going to do a call quickly with some of the guys at the stadiums. We're going to call them first before we bring out Brandon, Gooner Express, and Egal. First up, young Samuel's here with me. What are you saying, young Samuel?
Terry, I'm absolutely stunned. You know, this is the type of game I was worried about. We've gone on to these the past couple of years. I think the main criticism against us for the past 3 years has been when we go 1-0 down, we just don't have any answers. And today we went 1-0 down. Gabriel, I mean, he could have done better now. But listen, the team rallied around him and we went again. We got that equalizer and then Gabriel redeems himself and scores a header. Terry, I think I'm very impressed with the team today because they showed character. And that's the one thing in the first 3 games, all of them we've cruised. We haven't had a real challenge. So the challenge was, if you go 1-0 down, what will happen to the team? We fall apart. And today, the team, it went 1-0 down and they didn't fall apart. It showed character. Gabriel Jesus, you know, he didn't score a goal today, but it was influential. Eddie Nketiah came off the bench. I believe Eddie Nketiah, Terry, changed the game for me today. If it wasn't for Eddie Nketiah, I doubt we get the win. I mean, he was doing absolutely everything he wanted from the secondary striker. The only criticism I have now of the team, Terry, is that in depth. We just need to bring that winger, possibly Euro Telemans today. That's the only issue we have. But as of right now, our starting 11 is capable of getting top 4, top 3. Whoever knows, we get Pedro and Euro Telemans. God knows where this team could go, Terry. But thanks for letting me on. I'll speak to you later, Terry.
Cheers, mate. Thank you very much indeed. Samuel there at the ground. By the way, we've just gifted out to you 20 free memberships today on the Football Terrace. So a big thank you to everyone that gets one. If we hit another 700 likes, we will give away another 20 free memberships to you, please. So make sure you're smashing those like buttons and subscribing to the Football Terrace. If you want to super chat, you can gift out memberships to the users as well. I can't remember his name. It's gone from my head though. Why don't I remember his name? His name. Jason. Jason is at the Emirates Stadium as well. What are you saying, Jason?
We are top of the league. Say we are top of the league. 4 straight wins, baby. 4 straight wins, man. I mean, today, I swear that I was so stressed. I can't lie. Going 1-0 down in the 56th minute, man. I'm telling you right now, I was stressed. I was panicking. But then again, I feel like, you know, under Arteta, we feel like once we gone 1-0 down, I say to myself, we never win, or the stat shows we never win, or we always get a draw or something like that. Under Arteta, when we've gone behind, we only won 1 game under Wolves, and that is Wolves. And praise to the guys who basically stayed motivated. You know, we showed fight, character. Gabriel, he pissed me off today, man, but he redeemed himself with that winner. Bukayo Saka, I feel like he had a quiet game. He needs to be dropped for a bit, a couple of games as well. You know, because he didn't look himself today as well. But overall, pleased with the performance, and all we needed is that 3 points. All we needed is that 3 points, and that's what matters.
Mate, absolutely. The 3 points at this stage of the season is very, very key. And I think the fight back really should be what impressed Arsenal fans, even more than some of the scintillating play at times in the game, because you were up against it. You had to come back. And I know it's early on in the season, but it's very, very key. Jason, enjoy yourself, my friend. Thanks for calling in and having your say. Really do appreciate it. Thank you. Panel out next. We've got Gunnar Express. We've got Brandon. And of course, we've got man like Egal. Smash that like button for us, people. There we go. Welcome back to the show, gentlemen. Congratulations on the win. Egal, talk to me.
I'm good, Terry. I'm feeling good. 4 wins in a row. 4 wins in a row. You guys probably wanted us to drop points today. You guys probably thought once Mitrovic scored that goal, we're going to drop some points and we're going to be a shell of ourselves like we usually are. Over the past couple of years, Arsenal of old would have dropped points today. We showed a little bit more character. We showed a little bit more fight. And even though some of our best players did not have their best games, Gabriel Jesus did not score a goal. Bukayo Saka did not score a goal. Odegaard came in, did not have the best of first halves, and picked his game up the second half. And you know what? We did not have Zinchenko. We did not have Thomas Partey. And we won against a team that, don't forget, just a couple days ago, beat that Liverpool team. Yes, Liverpool might be poor, but at the same time, they did draw against that Liverpool team. So people were expecting Arsenal to drop points here. And you know what we did against probably our toughest opponent yet? We have picked up all 3 points and going on to our 5th game undefeated. I am gassed. I'm beside myself. And you know what? I don't think there's too many negatives. Gabriel Magalhaes went from villain to hero quite quickly. He put us behind with that conceding that goal. People were getting onto him. What did he do? He picked himself up and got that goal. And once again, the set piece coach, Nicholas Drover, whatever his name is, you're the man. Love that guy. He's coming to Arsenal. We are the best team in the league at set pieces when it comes to goals conceded and goals scored. So, and this is take it back from a year now. You can look up the stats, Terry, while we're talking. I'm telling you, this guy's been working miracles. And Mikel Arteta, you slowly and surely, you are winning over more people. If we can strengthen this team, because we could maybe do more than just get a top 4 battle, but it strengthen that team. That's the window is still open. 5 more days. You strengthen this team in the proper areas. I'm telling you guys, you never know. Sky's the limit.
I hear that, Brandon. Where do you see that? Where has his mental strength come from? Because the back end of the season, it was almost felt that it was a lack of mental strength that kind of cost you the Champions League place to Spurs. Where over these last few months is this developed from? Is it the pain of missing out? Is it the players being, the players that you've purchased, the combination of everything? What do you think has really galvanized this team to take you to this next level? I mean, 4 wins from 4 by any team in the opening 4 games of a Premier League season is sensational. But let alone a team that hasn't finished in the top 4 for 6 years? Like, this is sensational.
Yeah, I think it's a mixture of everything, to be fair. The players that we've signed, they've come in. Gabriel Jesus, Zinchenko are used to winning at Man City. They've got that winning mentality. They can add that to this squad. I also think that players are hurting from what happened last season as well. And, they're trying to correct that as well. But to be honest with you, and I don't want to be too overcritical, but I thought it was awful today. I mean, I don't think we was that great at all. I think aside from Martin Odegaard and Eddie Nketiah when he came on, everybody else was below par today, and we was quite, I wouldn't say lucky, because like Egal said and Sam said as well, we showed character to win that game. And at the end of the day, good teams or great teams find a way of picking up the 3 points even when they're not playing well. So that is a good sign from Arsenal. But, I just think the midfield is one area where we're still majorly lacking. El Neni, I think he did okay today, but I do think when he plays in the midfield, he slows it down an awful lot. And we just really, especially in that first half, we really lacked the cutting edge. And I don't think we tested Bernd Leno as much as what we should have done. But 3 points is 3 points. We're top of the league. We just got to continue that on. And at the moment, we're showing character. We're showing fight. We're showing everything that I've been asking of this Arsenal side. Mikel Arteta is making the right decisions when it comes to substitutions and changing the game as well. So at the moment, there's no complaints. But the performance level has to be better than that, especially against better opposition. But 3 points is 3 points, Terry.
Yeah, Yeah, I mean, do you know what's interesting? I find it interesting as a rival looking. I was sitting here watching the game and chatting to Gunnar. Like, oh, I'm nervous. This will happen. We're gonna lose. As a neutral to the game watching, even when you went 1-0 down, I truly believe you were going to come back and win. I didn't believe they had the ability to keep you out for the remainder of the game. You're just that much better than they are, if that makes sense. And it's little things, the way you're winning the ball off people, the work rate your team's got, and that there's a difference in it. When I was back in the last season where I was talking about you turning a corner, yes, you threw it away at the end. I thought, oh, maybe the mentality is not really there, but you're working harder than them. There is a bit between your teeth. And it's one of the reasons why I thought Liverpool were going to be so good this year. I thought that last season's pain would galvanize them to go on further. You've kind of got it where maybe they sort of haven't. But yeah, I'm so impressed with Arsenal. It's unbelievable.
Do you know the best thing as well, Terry, right? For the past 3 games, Gabriel Jesus has probably had a 9 out of a 10 performance. He's been very, very good. And I've always sort of worried about, well, what happens when Jesus doesn't have a 9 out of 10 performance? Who's going to step up? Who's going to, be the one to take charge of the team? And a lot of questions were asked when Martin Odegaard was given the captain's armband. But today, I think he put in the captain's performance. He was the guy that galvanised the team. He was the one who basically showed a captain's performance today in the way that he played. The only issue that I had with him, especially in the first half, was he just don't shoot enough. Like, open your body up, mate. You're right. Like, shoot. You got, and then when he eventually does shoot, that's what happens, a bit of a deflection for the goal. But
Yeah.
I just think he needs to shoot a bit more rather than all this intricate play. It kind of reminded me of the old Arsene Wenger team, overdoing it in the box too much. But yeah, great today. Great today.
I get that. Gunnar Express, long time no speak, my friend. Hope you're well. I mean, you're someone that's been very critical of Arsenal. They're now really performing in the way in which people like yourself wanted them to, aren't they? You must be really impressed with the improvement in your side now.
Yeah, Terry, this is the thing. Yeah, when I was criticizing the manager and the players, last year and whatever else, it wasn't because I particularly hate the manager and I want us to fail. It was always, I want us to play better. We need to play better. We're Arsenal Football Club. My standards are quite high. Maybe that's because I haven't seen the glory days that some of the older fans have seen. But I want us to be winning the best trophies because we should be doing that. We're Arsenal Football Club. We're a big club. And now that we're playing good football, we're top of the league. We've won 4 in 4. We're 100%. We're coming back. We're winning games that, again, last season, I don't think we'd have won. I don't think we'd have won this game last season. I don't think we'd have won the Palace game last season. I don't think we'd have won the Leicester game last season because the way we were last season, the mentality of the team was poor. The players weren't playing very well. If we went down 1-0 or if we conceded, we just capitulated completely. But this season, you can instantly see a difference. I think adding the 2 winners in Zinchenko and Jesus, no matter what you want to talk about, you can say whatever you want about them. They're 4-time Premier League winners. They know what it's like to win. They've won. So they've got that mentality of winners. Saliba, even though he hasn't won a lot in his career yet, he seems to also have that winning mentality that he just wants to keep going. If we concede, it's a matter of picking your head up and keep going. The Leicester game showed that, especially when he scored the own goal. So for me, I'm gassed. I'm happy. This is exactly what I wanted. I'm fully behind Arteta as of this moment. He's doing well. The substitutions today were brilliant. The Nketiah sub, it worked. Nketiah came on, and even though I think he could have played a little bit better, I think there was one chance where he should have shot a little bit sooner or whatever else. He changed the game. He added that burst of speed, that just taking on the defenders and actually getting in their face, and it worked because we scored twice when he came on. So I have no criticisms of anything really at the start of the season so far. The manager's done the job, the players are doing the job. I'm liking the rotation with Partey and Zinchenko as well, how it's just precautionary. We're not risking them getting injured, whereas I think again we would have risked them last season in a game like this. And we're winning games without Partey and Zinchenko, who arguably at the start of this season have been the 2 most important players. So there's no complaints from me. There really is no complaints.
I want to say this as well, because this is coming from a rival. People keep saying you're not going to be in a title race, you can't win the league, and maybe that is one step too far now. And I get in the social media era, people don't want to be on camera, don't want to be tweeting it, because if it doesn't happen, you could have a brilliant season, but people still come for you. But when I haven't been at the ground, but I don't need to be at the ground, I can hear it. There is a different atmosphere, a different mood, a different noise coming out of the Emirates when you talk to Arsenal fans, it's different from what I've seen for about 15 years. It's very different. There was always, even in the late noughties, where you were still in the Champions League, you were still kind of spoke about as a title-winning team. There was almost a resignation from Arsenal fans of, yeah, but Chelsea or Chelsea or Man United are just better. Or a bit later on, Man United or City are just a little bit better. Over the last 3 or 4 years, even last year, there were people talking about how good you were, and I didn't truly believe them, what they were saying. Does that make sense? Not what I thought or what you thought. I just thought you're overstating how happy you are. This year, I don't. This year, I feel like the noise I'm hearing, the togetherness I'm hearing is based on how good the team is. It isn't just cap and like, oh, I'm going to be a diehard gooner, and no matter how bad or stupid I look at the end of it, I'm just going to say we're one of the best. Now, all our clubs sing that song, we're by far the greatest team the world has ever seen. But I actually think this year, Arsenal fans truly in their heart of hearts believe it. And when the fans really believe, I think it seeps into a dressing room. And there's something about this Arsenal team where I've already said it, because it doesn't matter to me if it doesn't happen, because anyone who thinks you grow on social media by getting the most amount of predictions right is foolish. I think Arsenal can progress into title contenders this year. And whether that means they actually challenge this year or by next year they move into that mold, I think you look that good. And you've still got probably 4 or 5 positions to strengthen through this summer and next summer. You're just looking dangerous to me. The experience, the atmosphere I'm seeing at the Emirates, I think most Gooners that have been going there now for 15 odd years, I don't think people have experienced an atmosphere as good as what's at your club right now. I truly, truly mean that.
Durability is what it will be for me, Terry, to decide whether we're top 4 contenders or whether we're in with a shout of challenging for the league. Because the top 4 contenders, you have to beat the smaller teams, the teams that are finishing lower, down the table. To become sort of title challengers, you have to be able to beat the teams that are in and around you. And last season, for example, we didn't pick up enough points against the top 6. We really didn't. We beat Tottenham. I think we beat you, Man United, once, or was it twice? But you got to pick up the points against the likes of Liverpool, Man City, if you're to push to that next level. And that'll be interesting to see. That's where I'm going to be interested to see how this Arsenal side competes against the better sides, like the Tottenhams, the Liverpools, the Manchester Uniteds. The way that we sort of put like Bournemouth and Leicester to the sword, where we looked like we could score every time we went forward. Can we do that against that type of opposition? Do you know what I mean? So,
and I think that's very, very fair indeed. And again, I get why people don't like Egal. I completely get why you wouldn't want to say, I think we could win the title, because
I don't think anyone is in the fan base is actually saying it. People are just saying tongue in cheek, like we're top of the league. Yeah. 100%.
No, I get that, but I don't think you're that many more wins away from people starting to believe it. The point I'm making is, as a non-Arsenal fan, I can say it with impunity because it doesn't matter to me. Like, I'm not worried about it.
I just want to say this. I told people we could potentially win our first 5 games. And I still will. We basically said we should win our first 5 games. Everyone said it. Now that we're here, 1 win away from our 5th game, let's just get that 5th game, and then we get into the tough fixtures. I personally say the first 5 games, everybody in the league, they're setting pace. What we're doing, we're setting pace. We're setting pace. Other people need to catch up to us. But I'm not saying we're winning anything. I'm not saying we're going anything. We're literally all we're doing at this moment in time, setting pace for ourselves. So when it comes to the later end of the season, when we start struggling or other things happen, we have that margin for error. I just want that. I don't want to be another season without Champions League football. We witnessed the draw the draw the other day. It would have been nice for us to be in that.
I hear that. Porcelain says, "Am I banned?" No, I can see your comment. I'll check the other accounts, but you're not banned from the terrace, my friend. I want to do some super chat, but then I want to speak to you about Odegaard, and I want to speak to you guys about Saka as well. 2 different conversations. First one here says, Terry, a shout out. No one is giving his Nketiah. I always hear our rivals slagging him off, but I thought he was excellent off the bench. Come on, you good. Yeah, he gave you guys great energy, tenacity. Probably should have scored as well. Like he had a very good performance when he came on, no doubt. Aya says here, Arsenal are like the most versatile vegetable. They are like a potato. If you haven't seen the Kai Kurd, just Google Kaika is a great piece of comedy. He wasn't actually taking the piss out of Arteta.
That's hilarious. That's hilarious, though.
It's
Yeah,
a great thing. Sterling is a signing of the season. He is better than Kane.
What?
That's why he came to Chelsea. He is the best attacker in England.
Sterling will not finish with more goals than Gabriel Jesus this season. That is not going to happen.
There we go. I believe Sterling is the signing of the summer. He reminds me of Hazard with better finishing. He will win the
Oh my God.
What the hell
Oh
are
my
you
Lord.
smoking?
Jesus Christ.
Like,
There
why
we-
are we here talking about Chelsea?
I've got to respect the super chatters. I want to ask you guys a question, and viewers as well. I want your opinions on this. Let me just timestamp this right, so I don't want to miss it. Because I don't want to ask this question while I'm typing the timestamp.
Okay.
Where does Martin Odegaard rank in the Premier League versus other attacking midfielders and number 10s? Where does he rank in the pecking order? Most people say KDB is the best. Where do you Arsenal fans rank? What number though? I don't want top 5. Where do you rank out of attacking midfielders and cams or number 10s? Where do you rank Martin Odegaard?
Kevin De Bruyne, Bernardo Silva, Thiago Alcantara, and then Odegaard.
Are we counting Thiago as an attacking mid?
He sits deep, bro. He sits deep.
Yeah, I was going to say he's more of an 8 for me than
Okay,
an attacking mid.
are we saying midfielders in general or just people like?
I'd say if it's attacking mids, you got De Bruyne, Silva. I'd still currently pip Ericsson over him. I know people aren't going to say that.
Are you crazy? Ericsson is nowhere near.
No, Egal, Ericsson is
calling
good,
him
bro.
finished in a year's time. Don't compare him to Odegaard right
now. If I'm calling him finished in a year's time, that's cool. I'm not counting his first 4 games yet because he's joined a new team. I'm talking about Ericsson that was at Brent. Like even at Brentford, Ericsson was good, bro. I think him and Odegaard are very similar in terms of quality as of right now. So I'd probably put him between 3rd and 4th behind De Bruyne and Silva because Mount, again, do you count Mount as a 10? If so, maybe you can argue, but even then, I wouldn't put him above him. Havertz, no way. Fernandes, I don't rate Fernandes enough. I don't even like. There just isn't anyone that really comes to mind other than obviously Silva and De Bruyne. And again, I think Ericsson is on par with Odegaard, and I think Odegaard will definitely overtake him simply because Ericsson's older. But he's good, man. I mean, look, we've been waiting for an Odegaard performance like this season. He was good against Bournemouth. He was awful for me against Palace, and he wasn't great against Leicester either. So he hasn't been brilliant all season, but this just shows when he is brilliant, he's on job. Like, he is really good, bro. Like, his passing is incredible. Like, his left foot is wild, man. He's so good at his passing. So he just needs to be on job more. He needs to be a bit more consistent, but maybe that comes with the team being consistent as well. Do you know what I mean? So we just need to wait and see if he can stay consistent. But yeah, he's very, very good, man.
You know what?
How about yourself? Where do you rank him, Miguel?
I just put him top 5. I think it's pretty simple. You have Kevin De Bruyne, Bernardo Silva, and then I find it pretty hard to put anybody else outside of them 2 names ahead of Odegaard right now. Honestly, that's I'm including Bruno Fernandes. I'm including Maddison. Who else is there really? Tottenham don't really have an attacking midfielder that gets into that.
Maddison, yeah. Someone mentioned Maddison.
Tottenham don't really have anybody who gets into that mix. You look at Liverpool, they don't really have an attacking midfielder. If you unless you want to count Carvalho as that. You look at Manchester United. Yeah, you guys have Bruno and Ericsson, but I have Odegaard ahead of both of them right now.
Do you have him above Maddison, Egal?
Yeah, I have him above Maddison personally.
I don't know, you know, like
it's not about a couple goals here and there. Odegaard can absolutely boss the game.
Yeah. I think if you're on about like controlling the game as a 10 and like obviously the passing and stuff, I think Odegaard is better. But for me, I know GA is not everything for me. I'm not a GA merchant. But it is a thing, you know, for an attacking midfielder, you do want some goals and assists, and Maddison has that. I think Odegaard will definitely get that. He's already scored, 3 goals this season, and the assists will come. But again, I think that one's close. I do think that one's quite close, actually, between Maddison and Odegaard when I think about it.
Have you seen what do you call it? Just looking at Odegaard's poor performances this season. And how he's been playing and how he's bounced back the last 2 games. This is probably like the best 2 run of games we've seen him have in a long time. And obviously, I might be judging him a little bit too high right now, but I just think, say he's in the top 5, you sort out the rest, put in Kevin De Bruyne, Bernardo Silva, and Odegaard, and you figure out who the other 2 are after him. That's all I'm saying. I don't know who you're gonna put in those next 2. You just sort them out.
I think form plays a big part in it. I mean, I am seeing people say, yeah, but City don't play with an attacking midfielder. I don't want to sound preachy, but attacking people get too hung up on what the formation looks like on Sky. One of these heat maps is Odegaard. One of these heat maps is KDB. Look at the positions they take up. One play with one of them that the Sky show a number 10, the others show a 4-3-3. But look at the positions they take up. They're one, yes, performs and plays more on the right-hand side, but in terms of territories of the pitch, they're attacking midfielders.
Which one's KDB?
Well, which one do you think?
The left one's KDB, definitely.
The one that's more on the right, right?
No,
No.
That's
Odegaard's the right side.
Odegaard's on the right, KDB's on the left. But the point I'm making is that Sky Sports will show them as playing different positions. But you look at the majority of the areas where they dictate the play and the ball, it's on the right-hand side. Now, there is a bit more fluidity in the way that City attack and everything he has. But that's why I keep saying to people, don't look at the starting position on the map, on the formation. Look at a player's heat map, because that's where they're touching the ball the majority of the time. So it doesn't matter if you start as a number 10 or as in a 4-3-3. Your role in a 4-3-3 as an 8 might be to be the attacking midfielder. So you might spread yourself across the field a bit more, but the majority of your play, Odegaard and KDB, over 80% of their play comes from the exact same area of the football pitch. They have the same. They do the same job for each other's teams. Just don't listen to what Sky say in terms of. I keep saying a bit like 4-2-3-1 and 4-3-3 are almost identical formations, in or out of possession. Like, it's just crazy how like people get so hung up on the formation and not what people do within it.
I mean, Terry, we know that Arteta wants to go 4-3-3. I mean, the first 3 games of the season, I know people disagree with me, but for me, it was a 4-3-3. Like, yes, at moments we're in a 4-2-3-1, but no team sticks to one formation the whole game. When you're attacking and defending, you'll switch formation. We go into a 3 at the back when we're attacking because the left back will go up, etc., etc. But when you look at our system, I think we're trying to copy Pep's system in terms of the formation. Obviously, we're going to do things differently, but we're not playing a flat-out 10 in the same way City don't. De Bruyne is that right-sided 8, but the right-sided 8 for City is further forward, whereas Gundogan, who's on the left-sided 8, he sits a little bit deeper. That he's our Xhaka. So
and that's because they dominate so much of the play. And this is
exactly,
my point to people. You can call them roaming midfielders, attacking midfielders. It's about how your team. But if your team's really good and dominates the ball, your centre backs play higher up the pitch than teams who don't have any of the ball. But the formations on Sky Sports are the same, right? It's not. That's what I just say to people. It's don't look at the formation, look at the heat maps, look at where the average position of a player is, and then you can really tell what their job is to do. But I kind of agree with you guys. Like, on current form, I only think KDB is better than him in the league. I feel like if all the players are playing at their peak, because I'm not being funny, if you put Odegaard in Man United for the past 18 months, I don't think he'd be performing at this level. Does that make sense? Like, I think form, manager, what's going on at the clubs counts. If everybody was on top form, he's probably still in the top 5. And he's one of those players where over a year ago now, I admitted I got it completely wrong when Arsenal were linked to him. I've got this thing about when you buy players that have been loaned out by their parent club 100 times and they don't really want them, are they really good enough? And as a general rule, that thought process works. On Martin Odegaard, I was so wrong with it, and he is just brilliant. And what I like about him is, unlike a lot of the creative players, he doesn't lose the ball that often. He, on average, loses it 5 times less per game than KDB. He, on average, loses it 10 times less than Trent Alexander-Arnold. Loses it 5 times less than Bruno Fernandes. And that's because he's just got what he's got better than all of them is quicker feet. His ability sometimes to shift his weight and move the ball to the other side and pass it out to somebody and maintain possession is so good. And what a signing he's turned out to be. And I kind of look at Real Madrid. Look, they just won the Champions League and La Liga. So they're not obviously missing him per se. But I just kind of feel like in those attacking, I kind of look at it and think, I swear they could have done with him still. Like, it's still a weird player for them to have allowed to leave, because I think he's doing really, really well at Arsenal. One of those key drivers.
What do you think about El Neni, guys? Because I'm not gonna lie to you guys, I don't think he was as bad as some people on the timeline were making it seem. A player who's come off the bench and hasn't played much minutes to come in and have a 90-minute performance like that, or as I don't know. I just feel like sometimes people expect too much from our bench players. They expect them to be like-for-like replacements. He was never going to be Thomas Partey, but he did as best he could as El Neni could.
Do you want my theory on that, Egal? Do you know what it comes down to?
What?
Your fans want a backup for Partey. So what they will do is they take that frustration of not having one out on the player that is the backup. You see that across all fan bases. Like El Nelly's a good Premier League football player, but they're so desperate for a replacement for Thomas Partey that I think they're taking those frustrations. I thought he played well today. You definitely need another midfield player, and the club needs to go and do that. But I thought El Neni was all right. I did want to ask you guys about another player though, who for me looked off the pace again, looks tired and looks lethargic. Saka, and that's not it's not a dig at Saka. Like you guys all know, you guys have been on the shows with me enough to know how much I rate Saka, even when but like he doesn't look himself. Do you think he needs a rest? Do you think he needs like time on the bench, a better not a better player, but another player coming in to help him? Because he just your team's playing well, but it's kind of weird for me that the first time Arsenal looked like a real team in ages, Saka's kind of not part of it in the sense of he's not one of the shining stars.
I'll tell you this. He did get the assist basically for that goal. I get it that he wasn't involved in the majority of the game. It's not deflecting. I fully agree with you. At times I was looking at him and saying to him, what is going on with Bukayo Saka? Why isn't he getting involved in the game as much? Why isn't he getting involved as much as he does? But he's always struggled with certain things. He's always struggled with one-on-one finishing at times. He's always struggled with when he receives the ball, and he's in that final third. He sometimes doesn't finish right away. The majority of his goals come from when he has the game in front of him and he's running onto the ball, not when he's receiving the ball late and scoring. And I'm finding that there's so many more technical players around him. We're not asking him to do as much. We're getting these results similar to how Tottenham are getting their results without Kane and Son performing, without him performing. And today, Gabriel Jesus not performing to the level that he has been performing. So as much as it might be a negative looking at them, overall at the team, it might be a positive saying, hey, you're not overly reliant on individuals to perform week to week and you can still get results.
I get that. Brandon, I've heard some Arsenal fans say they're worried about him being burnt out. Maybe he's played too much football for a young player. Do you feel that's true? I mean, do you feel like if you had a Pedro Neto now that could come in and start the next 2 or 3 games, give Saka a rest? You know, you've got a lot of football coming up with the Europa League and Premier League. Do you feel like he needs that, or is it just a bad run of form?
No, I definitely feel like he needs somebody who can come in and, you know, give him a rest every now and again. If you think about it, if you include these first 4 games as well, he's played over 50 games for Arsenal last season and this season, when you include it. That's a lot of football for a 20-year-old who's still, you know, still raw, still learning his trade as well. And I think he needs somebody who can not only come in and fill in for him when he needs a bit of a rest, but can also provide him competition so that he can elevate his game as well. I think it's definitely more down to tiredness and being overplayed and maybe a little bit of burnout than what it is a lack of competition. But I just think if he had that competition, it's a bit like Tierney and Zinchenko, you know. Kieran Tierney now knows in the back of his mind that he cannot afford to get injured, because if he gets injured, he might not get in this Arsenal team again. And Saka kind of needs that as well. Like if he plays bad and we've got Pedro Neto sitting on the bench, he needs that in the back of his head to elevate his game, to make him even better as well. So definitely think we need a winger as well who can come in and do that. And Pedro Neto would be that guy, I think.
I think for the Pedro Neto thing, I want him more because Pepe left, not because of Bukayo Saka's issues, more just to strengthen the team fully. But yeah, I definitely would get a winger over a midfielder now. I think we're not going to probably get both. Realistically, I don't know if we're even going to get either at this point.
Yeah, I mean, look, I just look at it this way. I've got a vested interest in this conversation. I obviously want Saka like to be ready for England. Like I rate him. Everybody knows I rate him, and I always have that vested interest in what my nation's doing. As much as you guys really and truly only give a sod about like Arsenal kind of being ready and firing and doing what it is that they need to do. So I'm kind of in this sort of space of I just looking at him and I just see I've seen this before at Man United. I've seen it before at Arsenal as well. Jack Wilshere is a great example. When you guys were going through turmoil, when needed a new hero, like we all do this. All our clubs have done this. When you need a new hero really badly, sometimes I feel like our clubs have a tendency to overplay the person that, you know, we did it again. Saka's better than this guy. So I'm not comparing the two's ability. We did it with Adnan Januzaj in his first season. And then in the second season, we gave him the number 11 shirt. You're the new star. Go. I think he was being overused too early in his career, too much pressure upon him. And Saka's done so well to maintain it. I just sort of feel like If you look at most clubs when they're winning league titles, when they're competing for Champions Leagues, which is where Arsenal want to be, how many of those teams have their talisman as an 18, 19, 20-year-old? Even when Messi came through and Ronaldo and Rooney were at Man United, I use them as examples of the three last megastars that came through when they were young that obviously went on to achieve greatness in the game. Look who the hell they were playing with. Like, look at the teams they were in and who the actual talisman and the captains and the leaders were. I look at Saka and I feel like it's the reverse for him. And we did it at Man United. I'm not digging at Arsenal. I'm just looking at a player that's maybe a little burnt out for having all that pressure on him. I just want to see your club. Like, I don't listen, as a Man United fan, if you guys burned him out and he wasn't as good, that helped my club. But I'm an Englishman and he's an Englishman, and I don't want him burnt out because he's very good.
I am not worried. Watch Bukayo Saka midweek versus Aston Villa, bag a goal and an assist. I am not worried one bit. I really do believe the window's still open. Obviously, you'd love to bring in players to strengthen your squad, and I would too. But I think Bukayo Saka is just doing what other people do. People go have purple patches. People have moments. Bukayo Saka has had 2 times in his career where he's gone quiet, which was the back end of last season and the back end of the season prior. And it's just filtered into the beginning of this season. I've seen it before. Once he starts clicking, you'll see him. He'll be returning goals and assists back and getting performances after performances. It's not always that you're going to have your players performing week in, week out, 38 games a season.
Okay, what are you saying, Gunnar Express, about this?
Yeah, for me, I'm a little bit worried. Maybe not as of right now. But the one player that I look at that I hope Saka doesn't turn into is Dele Alli. Even though he's Tottenham, I'm going to be honest, that he was very good as a young player. You know, we all know how good Dele Alli was. We all thought he's going to be the next big England player and this and that. But for me, Spurs burnt him out. They did what I hope Arsenal don't do with Saka, and that's they overplayed him, they over-relied on him, and it just burnt him out. And I think, I mean, you look at him now, the guy's playing at Besiktas, you know, no disrespect to them, but it's not where we expected him to be at this age. So I don't want him to turn out like that. And I see some people mentioning Marquinhos, and even though he's definitely better than I thought he was, you know, when I saw the first compilations of him when he joined, I thought the guy was absolutely awful. But after watching him a little bit in the under-21s, because I do watch that quite a bit, he looks pretty decent. But you can't just say, oh, it's fine, we have Marquinhos, because we don't know what he's like in the Premier League. He's still young. The guy's barely even played, you know, first team football in his career. So you can't just whack him in the Premier League and expect him to cover for Saka. So for me, a winger is needed, but at the same time, we need a midfielder. And I think that if we're going to get any of them, we're only going to get one this summer, if any at all. So it's up to the manager, it's up to Edu, it's up to Vinay, all these guys, to pick which one is more important. And for me, the only person that can judge that accurately is Arteta. Arteta knows better than anyone how burnt out or how not burnt out Saka is. He knows better than anyone if we need that cover now or whether we can get it next summer. So it's up to him, it's up to his team. And especially after watching All or Nothing, they're going to look after him. They're going to, you know, be talking to him. They're going to be making sure they know what he needs and what he doesn't need. So, as I said, man, I trust in the management team, I guess you could call it, to make the right decision. So it's whatever they do. But yeah, I do worry about Saka because the kid's special. And, you know, players can get burnt out. Like, that is a real thing. So we do need to watch him. But yeah, I think I agree with Egal. I think it's just a little bit of a purple patch, and he'll come back into it, man. I won't be shocked if he doesn't play well against Villa and gets a goal or something like that. So
fair enough.
I disagree with the Dele Alli comparison, to be honest with you. I mean, I see what you're trying to get at, Gruner Express, but for me, Dele Alli, he was one of them players who had a bad attitude, was very lazy, thought he'd made it
that's
before,
true.
you know. And I don't see that with Saka. I think Saka, you know, very hardworking, intelligent, and I think he'll always, you know, try and do his best. But I just think it's a case of a little bit of burnout, and he just needs somebody there who can provide him a bit of competition and give him a bit of a break.
I just question if we're more or less just worried because we see Bukayo Saka put 9 out of 10, 7 out of 10s every game, and a couple of results here and there where we're poor and we still win. because Saka doesn't show up. I'm not too worried yet. You think it's kind of reactionary that we're getting worried, or do you think
No, I think it'd be reactionary
No.
to say he's overrated. He's being found out. He was always this is his real level. I don't think it's wrong for Arsenal fans to say this is a kid who's played a lot of football, and he needs a bit of a break. Look at Phil Foden at Man City. Like, he's never really had those periods where he's gone through major scrutiny because he's used sparingly at times because he hasn't had to be the talisman of Man City. Do you get where I'm coming from? He hasn't had that place that thrust upon him, and I think that there's a pressure that comes with that. And I agree with Brandon. I don't agree. I agree with the outcome could end up like Dele Alli. It could burn out. He could start developing injuries, whatever it may be. Dele Alli's issue was I don't think that and someone said to me the other day, well, maybe Dele Alli didn't want to work that hard. He already made his millions. He's allowed to not work hard. And I agree. I just think as football fans, we always give a lot of us to give our left nut to be able to be as good as them and work our backside off to stay there. But it's very easy to sit on the outside of that on a Saturday evening drinking a vodka and Coke. Oh, I'd do this if I was a footballer. But look, I think Saka's fantastic. Everybody knows that, and I'm really not. I'm not digging him out. I'm not having a go at him. I'm just at a kind of point where I feel I look at it from my point of view and just think to myself, I just want him to get a bit more rest because this season, by the way, if you do well in the Europa League, that's six group games and potentially another 10 knockout games. That's an extra, 10 games. Would it be like last 32, 16 quarters, semis? Which is 8. That's 8 games. 9 games. So that could be an extra 15 games you play this year. And if you don't buy another attacker, it's just that's on Saka or I know Marquinhos might be good enough, but we don't know yet. But we'll see. Let's do some of these super chats, boys. Let's see what people are saying. Arteta got hired to push the culture of the club and mentality. It took years to get rid of players and sign players who fit, and it's finally clicking. I agree with that. I think what's interesting is that I keep getting Man United fans keep getting triggered when people say, "Oh, you guys haven't fixed the culture yet." I'm like, do you think Ten Hag was fixing Man United in one summer? As in they say you're not fixed, as in a way where you should be criticizing your manager. It takes time. You guys do not rate Kane as a number 10. Kane,
he's a number 9, man.
Not a number 10. He's the best for me. Kane's the best number 9 in the world at creating. In my opinion, I don't think anybody drops as deep and does as well as him. Maybe Benzema, maybe Benzema. Egal called it Arsenal to win the league. I don't think he did.
I never said that.
No, I know you didn't. I just got to read it though. Formation is just how we start. It's I've seen Arsenal play 3-2-5 in attack and 4-3-2-1 in defense. The need for versatility in players is explicitly important in the Pep-esque positional play we play, is what VJ. That is one of the hardest super chats a dyslexic man has ever had to read in my life, but I think I got there in the end.
Yeah.
Arsenal is like the elephant on top of the tree.
What?
Listen,
you're basically saying we're about to fall.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah.
I think it's saying. And maybe you are, but even if you guys fall off the top, you're not falling outside the top. This is the thing, right? If Arsenal fall away from this, they're not right now. Isn't a title race in the first 4 games. If you guys drop from this in the next 10 to 15 games and you end up in 3rd position, 5 points off top, 6-7 points clear of 5th, that's not a bad season from where you were. I get
Terry,
the banner, but it don't hit deep, G. It don't hit deep, my G.
This is the thing, yeah. After games, everybody gets excited. We say we're winning the league, whatever else, but I've been in spaces, Egal's been in spaces, we've been there on Twitter, we've been there on YouTube, we've all seen it, yeah? No Arsenal fan genuinely thought we were going to win the league at the start of the season. No one did. Nobody was saying that. So rival fans, it's as if they're waiting for us to drop out from 1st position, even if we drop to 2nd, so they can laugh at us and say, oh, your title challenge is over, you're not winning the league now. It's like we aren't even expecting to go that far. So if you're expecting us to drop off, I don't get it. For me, my prediction was 3rd. As long as we get top 4, I don't care. And again, a lot of us have said it. The first few games of the season for us is going to be massively important because we hope to go far in the Europa League. We hope to go far in the FA Cup and that to try and win them. So you need to pick up the points when you're only playing once a week so that when you're playing 2-3 times a week, you can risk dropping 2 points here and there because you already claimed the 3 points at the start of the season. So winning the first 5 games was the main thing for me, and we won the first 5 games. Well, I think we're going to win the first 5 games. I think we're going to beat Villa, but that's the key thing.
I actually hope you beat Villa, because obviously I need to keep my agenda against Gerrard. I need to keep my agenda against.
Now we're beating Villa, man. We're beating Villa.
I hear that. Look, but there's always listen, I love the banter era of football because it's all on social media, but it goes too far sometimes. Some of the banter is so dead. Look, sometimes I hear it. Like, I was on a stream earlier and I just started getting annoyed because I basically turned around and I think it's something along the lines of, Haaland is for me the best young striker in the world because he's done it in the champs, done it in the Bundesliga, which is in the top 4 leagues. He's now doing it in the Prem, which is the hardest league in the world. You saying Mbappe's crap, and I just lost my temper because I'm like, I hate that kind of Twitter conversation. Like, I think Mbappe is amazing; he's one of the best. But I'll never call Mbappe the best until in the league he's doing it in the best league. Same with Lewandowski. I've never called Lewandowski the best striker outside of Benzema or Kane, because he's not he's league wise, he ain't doing it in one of the top 2 leagues. Like, there's a difference in that for me. Like, and people say, and I understand that, like, as an attacker, I don't want to bring this to life again, but yeah, they all do it in the Champions League. But it's easier when you're in a lesser league. If you're a world-class player and you're in a lesser league and you've got a Saturday game against some team that you beat 6-0 and you can walk around, and then you go into a Tuesday Champions League game, it's a lot easier to be fresh than when you're in the Prem and where 99.9% of the teams are hard to beat. And I always say to people, that isn't my opinion. That's what the foreign players who come here tell us. And I'm just listening to, I remember Kai Havertz, I know he ain't doing very well, did an interview, he's the most recent guy to say it, where he was like, in Germany, if you play against one of the bottom 6, 7, 8 teams, you just walk over him. He went, it's so hard. Like, those hard games every week take their toll come February, come March. If the Premier League was, if we had one team in the Prem that was world class, let's just say the only world class team was City, but week in, week out they were playing teams of Bundesliga, Ligue 1, Portugal's level, they would be so fresh in those Champions League games. It'd be unbelievable. But that there we go.
Based off of what you just said, then Terry, are you a Ronaldo man or a Messi man?
Ronaldo. Listen, I'll always be Ronaldo because I am biased because of Man United, but that's also a preference. I like when Ronaldo was at his pomp. I love what Messi does. I think Messi is sensational. I love how he dribbles. I love the way he gets past people. But I like direct players. I've always liked direct players. I love the way I just like what they do. And that's what it is. What it is. I'm always going to pick him. But equally, they've both done it in one of the hardest leagues in the world. What I give Ronaldo over him is that Ronaldo did it in Spain. He did it in England. He did it in Italy. Like, he did it in the 3 hardest leagues. Now, Messi probably would have done, but I don't know that, do I? Do you get what I'm saying? Like I don't know if he'd have done it. It's a bit like, I'm a big fight fan. If you're a fighter that's done it at middleweight, super middleweight, light heavyweight, and you've beaten every one of those categories, I look at you as like one of the best ever because you've gone to multiple weights and won. One guy just dominated one weight. I'm like, yeah, that's great. But man fought a guy that's like 20 kilos heavier than he is, and he beat him. That's fucking ridiculous. So it is what it is, and everyone's got a different view and opinion. But one thing, what I'm actually saying is, though, I don't think Messi's crap just because I think Ronaldo was better.
Can I say one more thing, guys? Yeah. Arsenal fans, don't let any rival fan try to bring you down for being happy that your team is won 4 out of 4 and is undefeated currently and is playing the best football in the league and is competing and fighting and showing the heart and desire that we needed and we haven't been fighting and showing over the last couple of years. I personally am not going to let no one bring me down. I'm not going to let no one bring down any of these players. And there's no reason for us to be talking about Arteta in or out, players' agendas. These things should be gone. We're winning on the pitch and we should be celebrating off the pitch together.
I want to say this though, Man United are also undefeated this season. Our season didn't start until we dropped Maguire. That's what you're doing what we did last year versus Norwich. Yeah, exactly. Your season last year didn't start until the 4th game because that's when you. For me, our season didn't start until we dropped Maguire. So we're undefeated, beat Liverpool. We beat a brilliant Southampton team today. Now, listen, one thing I will say about this season, and it's gearing up nicely for the terrace because obviously we cover all the teams, is I still think there's a lot more to come from Chelsea when Fofana comes in, maybe Aubameyang. Now, I do think there is. As much as I think you're better than Tottenham, I think Tottenham are still very good. Who knows what Man United are going to do? No one knows because I'm not being funny. No one predicted what happened on Monday, right? No one did. And we won against, who knows? And we play you next weekend. That's what's
I
crazy.
actually said Liverpool.
Crazy.
I actually said Man United could do something versus Liverpool, even though I didn't like put my prediction out there. I said it on my channel, but yeah, you know what I mean.
That's putting it out there.
No, but I didn't like go out and say you guys are gonna win fully. I just said, you know what, don't be surprised.
This season's. I honestly feel like this is going to be one of the. I mean, I say it every year, but I do feel like this is going to be one of the greatest seasons because we've now got a very good Spurs.
World Cup.
Chelsea are good. Arsenal. Look, listen, Arsenal winning. I keep looking. I'm sitting here staring at the league table, and people might ask, why do I do this when I'm working? Because I've got like 4 screens, and I'm always looking at different things. But like, because you guys are on that screen there, that's actually where I can. If I'm looking at you guys, you're there. So my camera's there. Another monitor's there. Sky Sports is there. BT Sports is there. It's like, I love my little setup. It's like my little man cave. But yeah, you guys being top is fucking crazy. Like, and not as a dig at you. It's as good as I thought you were going to be this year. I didn't see you winning your first 4 games. And the reason I say that is look at City. City ain't won their first 4 games. Liverpool won one game in 4. Like, it's a hard thing to do. And I don't know the last time. Like, if you go back through, if someone's an anorak, go do it. Just go check the last 20 seasons and count up how many teams have won their first 4 games. I'm going to make a prediction, no more than 5.
I'm not going to go through it and check.
I'm just saying, if there's more than 5, I'd be shocked. If there's more than 10, I'll shave my balls on camera. Like, I'm honestly truthful. Like, where I don't think like it isn't that rare. It's rare to me. Like that a team does that. It's very rare that a team does that. So the fact that
Man United never did it when under Fergie.
We might have done. But I said in the last 20 years, like I wonder how many teams have actually done it, like won their first 4 games. So I'm not saying that people, to your point, like people go, yeah, but you're going to fall away. Yeah, maybe Arsenal will, but right now, be happy.
Interesting stat. Last season, you spent more minutes at the top of the table than Liverpool, even though they're in a title race.
Yeah, I know. Can your beautiful panel tell me how Sterling did not win the best player in the Premier League? It is a shock. He will prove you guys wrong, is what RK says.
Relax. Man scores 2 goals. You start going crazy.
Read this one out, Egal. Read it out for me, bro.
Sterling is better than Jesus. Really? Come on. Are you serious? He's not. He is not important. Sterling is showing, will show City and Arsenal what he is about. Respect Sterling. He is England's best player, and he's better than Kane. It is simple. Wow.
Wait, Egal, do you remember in pre-season when Sterling showed Arsenal levels in that 4-0 loss?
You know what?
I just want to ask RK. RK, are you a Chelsea fan by any chance? Because you must know that Chelsea kill off wingers. So, you know, what makes you think Sterling's going to be any different? How many wingers have Chelsea killed in recent years? You know,
being Chelsea's player of the year is not that difficult, my guy. Let's be real. How many goals do Chelsea players score? Anyways, I don't know why this is turning into a Chelsea stream. RK really is turning this into a Chelsea stream.
If Arsenal win 10 in a row, I will also shave my balls and get a transplant because I need one.
That's never gonna happen.
Yeah, no, I don't think Arsenal win 10 in a row, but it's listen, honestly, I'm looking forward to next weekend now. Like this midweek games will make me less or more confident. But if we beat Leicester, I'm then excited to play Arsenal. I don't think we'll beat you, but I'm excited to play you. Like I am.
Manchester United are looking good.
No, we weren't. Today we looked defensively. We looked good. Like I'm really impressed with little itty bitty Sandro. You know, it is what it is. Like he's pretty good. Maguire not being in the team helps. Let's see Casemiro start a game, and we'll see. But we'll start to build up more to Arsenal, Man United next week. I think the crazy thing is we've got to get through these midweek games first, because you know what it's like. If you start talking about that game now, based on how we both perform midweek, could completely change how we talk about our game. Like if Man United get battered by Leicester, none of us have got confidence. We beat Leicester 3-0 away from home. You know there's going to suddenly be Man United chest.
It doesn't matter what happens. It doesn't matter what happens. Manchester United could lose 15 games in a row. When Arsenal show up to Old Trafford, there's this sort of voodoo where the game is just tight. It's never a blowout. We never come to Old Trafford and show you blowout. I can't
remember the last time you guys scored more than 2 goals there. And I don't remember the last time you scored more than 1 goal and beat us there. Like they're always tight games. Right?
Goal margin, because we've scored 2 goals plenty of times, just not beat you guys by 2 goals margins.
Yeah.
As of right now, though, Terry, Are you beating us?
No, like, and that's not just me playing it down because I don't want banter. I can't sit there and say you've been the best team so far this year in the league. I can't sit there and say how great you've been, how good you look, and still be on the fence about my team and predict you. Like, I don't predict this right now finishing above 7th. Like,
Terry, can I ask?
Go on,
Obviously, Bayern Munich played today and they drew, so even they aren't 4-4 in the Bundesliga. I think the only other team in the top 5 league that was 4-4, I want to say it's Real Madrid. If I don't even know if Real Madrid are, I don't keep up with the Liga enough. So, look, I'm going to have to do it because I'm shameless. But Arsenal are one of, if not the best teams in the world right now on current form because we're doing it in the hardest league. So, I just want to put that out there, man.
In fairness, no, Real Betis are 3-3.
All right, okay, yeah, we're up there with Bellerin's new team.
You're Arsenal. If I'd have said to you at the start of the season, 4 games into the season, Real Betis and Arsenal are the best 2 teams. But you are like, on form, you are right now. Now, what people will say is that you haven't played a big team yet. That is a fair because you know what's going to happen, guys. You win your midweek game, you win 5-5, and then you play Man United and we beat you 2-0.
Yeah.
Like, Arsenal fans watching do know that rivals will just come for you and go, see, one test and you failed. But you look at it the other way. You win your 5th game and then you come to Old Trafford and beat us there. Suddenly you're 6-6. And the world starts to look at you differently. And that's when the pressure starts to mount on everybody else because people start to fear you. Like, people do. And even under Ole Gunnar Solskjaer at Man United, there were times when we were winning 65 to 68% of our games, and we came from behind every time I think it was like 10 games running, we conceded first and come back to win. That put fear. That put for a short period of time there was fear in people, and you guys are starting to scare people. But in the early periods of scaring people, everyone pushes back against it. Nah, you'll fade, you'll fall away. I don't think you're going to fall away much this year. You'll probably fall away from City. You may fall away from Liverpool, especially if they buy a midfielder this week. But I think you'll stay in front of Tottenham. I think you'll stay in front of Chelsea. And I think you'll stay in front of Man United over the course of the season. Will you have a shock result or two where teams below you beat you? Yeah, that happens to the greatest Premier Leagues of all time have had that happen to them. That's why I don't like the hyperbolic analysis you sometimes get. You know, we did it to Lisandro Martinez in his first game. I told you it'd be rubbish. Told you it'd be crap. And then suddenly he has 2 back-to-back games where he's man of the match. It's like, slow down. And we know why Gunners were doing it because you guys wanted him. You will know.
I'm still onto him. I'm just at this point, I'm gonna be like, you know, the guy who does the dog emoji with Sancho. That's gonna be me with Lisandro Martinez. Basically.
Exactly, and the same as me. Every time Gabriel makes a mistake, because you know my fake agenda. My fake agenda is that he was going to replace Gabriel, and every time Gabriel makes a mistake on the ball, I'm like, that's why Arteta wanted Lisandro Martinez. It's why I blocked a few people this week as well, by the way, because I'm blocking people because I'm having a bit of banter with it, and it's like you guys know it's banter. So you'll be like, dead banter, Terry. Don't talk nonsense, Terry. But when people start like quoting it, you're a liar. Why are you lying about the situation? It's like, well, now you're taking it away from banter and you're making it sound a little bit like malicious, like malicious and nasty, and that really isn't me as an individual. So I can't. And you guys don't know this. First time I'm saying on the terrace, like this year, I'm getting harsh on people that I've helped, people that I've given a platform to, people that I've been respectful to. If all I ever get is nonsense replies to you on socials and you're never bigging up or promoting what we do here on the channel, you can go fuck yourself. I'm turning nasty this year. Not horrible to people. I'm not going to say nasty things, but it's like there's one guy that I blocked the other day and he texted me going, "Why'd you block me?" I said, "Bruv, I've had you on my channel umpteen times. I've helped you out. I've lent this guy money. I lent this guy money when he couldn't pay his rent. And I went, every time I tweet something, you make snarky comments or tell me it's bullshit. You just write bullshit underneath it. Never once, even when we've celebrated an achievement on the series, never retweeted or said, well done. I said, people like you, I don't fuck with anymore. I'm out of here, done. And that's just my mantra now with people. Like, people I've helped, I'll always keep helping. But if you don't want to big up and promote what we do here, and it ain't about promoting me, it's about the terrace and the community we try to grow. I'm just not about people like that. So, yeah, that's my thing. Like, banter away, people. But if I've helped you,
likes and subscribes and are free. So if you don't do it, just do it.
Terry's coming back with a vengeance, like his hairline.
Mate, the hairline is looking strong right now.
Yo, Terry, can you hit Gabriel up and tell him where you got it, please? Because he needs his hair back, man. Ever since he's gone bald,
do you know what's funny? Where Gabriel had his hair done, right? Where he had his hair done, I researched my clinic has a 20% success rate that's better than his. I'm like, why didn't you go to my place? I could have got you a good deal in London, like much better place. His clinic looked cleaner and nicer. Though my clinic looks a little bit dusty. Like I'm not gonna lie,
Terry,
but the hair works.
I have one more thing. Someone in the comment section said something. It's ridiculous. People stop saying Neto's better than Saka. That's absolute cap.
He isn't taking people on.
Neto's not better at Saka in anything.
He's a better 1v1 player, Egal, but everything else, Saka's taking it, man. He's a better finisher as well, but slightly. Because Neto's finishing is overrated, I'll say that. Like, he's not a super clinical finisher like a Rafinha. He's a good finisher, but there's still stuff to work on with him. But...
Yo, what's good, Jess? How you feeling?
Oh, I'm good. I mean, other than like the internet doesn't work, like it's fine.
What do you mean the internet? What do you mean the internet don't work?
I was using it and my stream went out, so it didn't work.
Damn.
Works fine for me.
Yeah,
Do you know what it is? It's the way you unraveled that lead. I told you the way you treated the equipment is terrible. I told you.
Are we live?
Yeah.
We're live.
Oh, yeah.
I told you
We're live.
the way you unraveled it. I'm like, you're gonna break it. You're gonna break it. Like mine worked fine because I take care of my equipment. That's all I'm saying.
You're closer to the modem.
You happy with the win though, Jay? You happy with the win?
Yeah, I mean, I was really panicking. Like when Gabriel made that mistake, I thought I was gonna fly through the screen and strangle him myself. I was just like, I don't know. I had like an outer body experience. But then I always kind of felt like we had a chance to come back, because we didn't look rattled or anything like that. And yeah, that was like the first chance that they even had. So yeah, I'm happy for the team because, teams can be traumatized by things sometimes, like not being able to come back and, having situations that don't go their way, and to come back in a game like that, I thought was good, for morale and all that kind of stuff, especially with Gabriel, because like, he makes these mistakes, and he came back. So, and scored the winner. So I'm feeling good about it. Top of the league, unbeaten. Rivals were waiting. They were like, this is going to be the upset. It's coming. It's here for us. And maybe good luck next week, so yeah, I'm happy. But I was nervous. Were you guys not nervous? I was nervous, like a little bit when
I was nervous when
we're not
Issa
in the
Diop came
lineup.
on.
I was like, ooh, like
when Issa Diop came on, I was nervous then. When they had 5 at the back, I was thinking, oh, we're going to score, but we didn't.
When Eddie Nketiah came on, he gave me these vibes like we could do something. The moment he came on, it changed the whole game.
He was good. He was good today. I thought Saka and Martinelli were. When I have to look at Martinelli's numbers, but I thought we needed more from them. Like I just felt like they were trying, but if you're not going to have the midfielders because we didn't have a midfield today, no Zinchenko, no Thomas Partey, there's no midfield, so they need to do more to create for themselves. And I just thought they didn't do enough, but they just about scraped by, today. And I think people that were saying like so and so is holding Saka back, so and so is holding Saka back. Ben White and Odegaard have had good games. They're not holding nobody back. Saka's just started slow, so we need to hold Saka accountable. Like he's a great player, but I also feel like this is exactly why we need another winger, because he's off, but we have to continue to play him, so I don't know. That's just kind of like my 2 cents on it. But yeah, overall, like we had some players that had excellent games. I thought Odegaard was like really, really good today. Ben White, Saliba. And yeah, I'm gassed.
Do you think the Brazil coach being there might have made some of these Brazilian players a little nervous?
I thought about that, and all of our Brazilian players were off today, I thought. Gabriel the most with that mistake. I don't think Jesus had his best game. I thought he was off as well. And Martinelli, I have to look at it again because I may be getting this wrong, but I also thought he was a little bit off too. But maybe, but suck it up. You want to be on that team, like suck it up. Like there's such good players, but we could carry them today because other players played well. That's how it goes, so maybe the next game, it'll be them that has a good game.
That's team sport. RK says, I'm happy Sterling chose Chelsea. He is a talent. He's a Premier League legend with W7. Yes.
7 years. No,
maybe 7. I don't know. Seven. What? He got 7 league titles. He is the best winger in England, so he's the best signing. I get the logic. I do get the logic.
Did he tweet the same thing again?
Maybe. Listen, this does not push back on people with the super chat. Thank you, super chat, and keep super chatting, people. Thank you. Sterling feels he is better than Salah, and he's better than he is better than Salah. He won more than Salah. He scored and assisted more than him. Sterling is better than Salah, is what RK loves. Raheem Sterling. This guy, Raheem. If you're ever bored at night, bro, and you want a nice, good,
bro, this is what 2 goals does for you, man.
Exactly. It's a great tweet. This is a great comment. RK is Sterling's agent. Listen, people, I appreciate you all tuning into the terrace today. It's always humbling as ever. I don't really get it, but thank you. We're back tomorrow with some more. I don't like it when they put 5 of the top 6 on one day. It really bothers me.
Who's
But tomorrow
playing
we're back Tottenham. I don't know who they're even playing. But
Hoping for a Tottenham loss. Come on, Nottingham Forest.
come on, Forest. But yes, so Tottenham tomorrow. What's the word? Transfer news and much, much more. Smash that like and share button before you leave. Take care. Goodbye. God bless.